This conference will now be recorded.
All right, guys. So happy Friday. Today is February 1st. We are into a new month of trading. And one of the great things about a new month is that everything that happened last month, we have a clean slate. So we want to take all the positive things that we learned. We want to take any lessons from the negative things that happened through us, and we want to apply them all into this month. Now, unfortunately, the pre-market's not really giving us much to apply anything to yet, but we have a few things to talk about. So APHA, we finally got that move up above. I was hoping for it yesterday, but yesterday's close was just absolutely pathetic. I mean, there was just nothing going on at all. And it's kind of carrying over right now into the pre-market. But kind of interesting. I mean, not really as much buying as I would like to see at 9, but we definitely have some decent buying that's coming in underneath that 9 level. So there's really nothing at this moment. I mean, there's one print that came in at 9, which one print isn't really going to do much. It's going to have an effect, but not, like I said, not much. So definitely going to keep an eye on it. It's certainly a sideless stock. I mean, there's just not enough going on in it. But based off what we saw yesterday, based off so we have some decent buying underneath, something that I want to take a look at. Next one is TTNP. So TTNP, I'm not really happy with it at all. But this normally would be a sideless stock, but just because there's really almost absolutely nothing on our scanners or really anything happening, we need something to look at. So coming over, 220, we have some pretty decent buying that came into it. There's definitely selling, but we have a little bit of new buying, not as much as I would like to see. So we're sitting in this consolidation. Really what we would need is just a real big volume spike. And unfortunately, there's really not many prints above there for a trigger to really show us that it's going to be going. So remember what we talked about in Traders Exchange about the size of the volume bar. You get a really, really big volume bar, then unfortunately it's going to look like it's not really much of it's not going to be very long of a trade. So keep that in mind. Next one, OPK, which is another, I'm like, not really, I'm just looking for something to look at, and I'm really reaching, to be completely honest. We have some decent buying underneath that 350 level. As we're coming back up to 370, you can see there's not really any new buying. I mean, there's a little bit, but not anything, especially with you can see the size of the orders on the ask side, 3,000, 4,900. There's no lack of shares to be able to buy. It's not really happening. So it's another one I'm going to keep an eye on. But once again, it would probably be a sideless stock if it wasn't for there pretty much being absolutely nothing out there for us to look at. I was going to say, now you're making stuff up. Didn't want to. All right, one thing that I do want to take a look at, though, or didn't do want you guys to pay attention to, is Roku, ROKU. So it's pretty much garbage. There's 63,000 shares being traded so far. But just if you look, the only real big bursts that we've seen coming into it have been selling. So you have 45.10 and then 45 you have bid prints. I would expect this thing to pop up like it did and end up coming back underneath that 45 level. It's going to be a quick trade. There's not really, once again, there's just not really much there. 63,000 shares tells us once the market opens, we're probably not even going to break 100,000 shares on the first volume bar. But again, it's something, we need to look at something. Obviously, our everyday stocks are going to move once the market opens, but as of right now, not really showing much at all. SQ, nothing. I mean, there's just nothing going on. It's, that's the best thing I could say is So, 70, it's got a little bit of buying. It's coming back up, but there's not really much buying above that it needs to satisfy. Yesterday, when we were coming into that 71 level, we were getting a little bit of a mix. 71.50 gave us a bunch of bid, a few ask, kind of all over the place. So nothing definitive in it yet. Keith says reaching at XOM. Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad. I mean, it trades $1.68 on average. The volume this morning, 595,000 shares. Would expect a bit more. 76, you had some decent buying that came in once it got to there, and then we have some selling coming in right underneath that 75 level as it sits in that consolidation. So it's a bit mixed, but no, it's not bad. It's probably one of the better ones that we have out there, to be honest. It's just very mixed right now. We don't really have a definitive of what we're looking. I think Amazon. No, I don't ever look at Amazon. Well, what am I going to see? The thing is, everyone loves to talk about Amazon. What am I going to do with this stock? It's $1,600. I mean, at the end of the day, what am I going to do? trade, there's just no, I mean, don't get me wrong, average $59, that's great, but it's just, I'm going to risk, $1.5 million to trade this thing. It would be crazy. X yesterday actually had some pretty decent buying as this thing was coming back up. Now, the thing is, it did have selling at 21st, and then it came in with a bunch of aspirin. So we ended up kind of just taking off from there. So, it moves $1. This is another one of those stocks where unless we see something drastic, I'm not really that big of a fan. It moves $1. I mean, it's, yesterday it moved $3. Yesterday was a big day. So, we obviously had earnings and you could see how much volume it took to make it move $3. But I just don't expect much from it. And at the same time, 20 is going to be a very hard level for it to be able to break. But we do have selling that's sitting there at the 20, but on the way up, it definitely had buying, to keep showing us that it was going to prolong that move towards the upside. The buying was too big. My only concern for the overshort. Absolutely, exactly. Wasn't something going into JD late yesterday? I wasn't watching. I didn't see anything special in JD. I mean, you're talking about it had some big prints coming into 4 o'clock, but you could see. I mean, it was just ugly. Moved 98 cents. Not really much there. TBLT. Let's take a look. Yes, since I've started talking, TBLT is looking real good. So underneath 350, no buying yet there, but right underneath that 350 level, some pretty good buying coming into there. Nice prints, not really too much selling that's coming in. So yeah, definitely TBLT, probably one of the better ones that we see. Only problem that I see with TBLT is it dying out, it making its move during the pre-market, and then it pretty much just kind of selling off once the market opens. Cron, remember, Cron had a phenomenal buying yesterday at that 20 level. So we came back in, and it did pull back about 50 cents, a little bit more than that. I really would have liked to see it move a little bit more, but Cron definitely something to look at. Right now during the pre-market, there's absolutely nothing going on, but certainly keep this on your watch list. For coming back in above this 20 level so far this morning, we've been seeing some good buying coming in. What's crazy though is that CGC and Cron usually move pretty similar. And one of the things is that this thing has not satisfied that huge amount of prints that we saw coming into that 47 level. So I have a feeling that CGC is going to have a pretty bad day coming back up. But overall, Cron, beautiful buying. So absolutely, certainly something to look at. We'll put Cron on the list too. So we have a big list. See, the thing is that don't be fooled. We have a big list this morning, but most of it is, excuse my language, bullshit. It's just not much that's going on. AMD had good buying at 25 yesterday. It's pushing towards there right now, looking pretty decent. Underneath had some good buying that was coming back in, so certainly something to look at. I'm not going to put it on our list though, but definitely this morning, 24.50, nice buying pushing up from there, and then some decent buying underneath there. Hashtag BL, $BS. So yeah, things are, there's a bunch of stuff for us to look out there, to look at out there, but there's just not really anything that I'm too sold on, to be completely honest with you. Once the market opens, I'm going to kind of give it a little bit. Yesterday, like I said, the volume was really, really bad going into the close. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Window shopping is a good word for it. There's a bunch of stuff I'm going to be looking at, but I'm not sold on anything yet. I'm not really, ecstatic about anything yet. Early start to weekend. Well, you know what? If things, don't get me wrong. Once the market opens, we'll certainly get some really good trades. It's just how long that's going to last for, and coming into the open of the market, I'm just not really sold on too much yet. All right, guys. So remember, today is Friday. There will be no afternoon meetings. Just patience. There's no reason to force anything yet. Once let the market open. Let's see, what we get, and just wait for something definitive. We're going to get some beautiful prints. We're going to get some easy trades that come out there. Just a matter of not forcing it and waiting for them to come to us. All right, guys. So I will talk to everyone in the chat, and happy trading.